Hey everyone, David here with a tip for all you content creators out there. This is going to be a fun video because first of all, we get to use our Stream Deck. And if you don't have a Stream Deck, hang in there with me. I have a workaround for you. Second of all, we have a second camera angle so I could show you what's going on with my two screens as we use the Stream Deck. And finally, this tip is something that I actually find very useful and I've been wanting to share with you for a long time. But first, a little context. I was recently presenting at an event giving tips and tricks on streaming and recording video content, and someone asked, what is the biggest challenge? And I said, clicking that start streaming or start recording button. And I looked out and half the people in the audience were looking at me like, oh, I'm so glad you said it. I thought it was only me. I think a big part of the problem is we've all had those streams or recordings where halfway through we realize something isn't set up properly and we have to start all over again. We have some quirk with the way we set up our microphone or our lighting or our camera. We all have our little things that we have to set up correctly for our streams to work for us, and you don't want to find out halfway through a stream or recording. So my tip is, it's really pretty simple. I have a pre-stream checklist. And anything that I'm worried about is on that checklist. For a while I had chair on the checklist because there was a certain way I would set my chair before a stream. I don't do that now. But I had that on my checklist. Lighting, getting the lighting right was on the checklist. And before the stream I would check them all off. And when you see everything checked off, all of a sudden it's a lot easier to click that start streaming button because you know there's nothing you forgot about. If there was anything else you needed to do, it would have been on the list. Everything's checked off. The only thing left to do is start. To make it more fun, and as you'll see, actually to make it more efficient, I do it using the Stream Deck. Now, if you don't have a Stream Deck, there's a free app, a Stream Deck app on your phone that you can use. It only gives you 6 buttons, but you can use that to get started. And of course, you can do most of this just with a paper and pen checklist. But let me show you how we do it using the Stream Deck. So on the Stream Deck, you could have multiple screens, multiple profiles, so you could have different sets of buttons. And I have one screen that is set to be my pre-stream checklist. And as you can see, we have a bunch of fires that we need to put out before we can start our stream. Now, as you'll see in a minute, some of these buttons do a lot of things. They actually set up my stream for me. And some of them are just what I call indicator buttons. They don't actually do anything, but I click them just to show me that I've taken care of that task item. Like the first thing is I always like to reboot before I start my stream. It just makes everything run better. So the first button is
System rebooted. Let's do a stream today, boom.
It just tells me that I rebooted. It doesn't actually reboot when I press it. All of the buttons I have here are set up the same way. There's something in Stream Deck called a multi-action toggle. Basically that means that when you press it once, it does a set of actions and switches the icon. And when you press it again, it does another set of actions and switches the icon back. It toggles between the two. The next button actually does something. It closes a bunch of work apps that I have running on my computer. When I start up my computer, I have Zoom, I have Teams, I have a bunch of things that run in the background. I like to turn them off before I start my stream so nothing pops up at me. So let me go to our second view. I have Teams and Zoom open, and let's see what happens when I press the
work apps are shut down.
It shuts them down completely. The next button's a big one. It opens up. I have it, you see it's called OBS, etc. And I have it open up a bunch of programs. Let's run it. So it's opening up several different bots, visualizers, programs that I have running in the background on my screen, audio effects, and of course, OBS itself. By the way, I should have mentioned earlier, this isn't the startup page for my work stream. This is the startup page for my guitar stream. It has more fun buttons, so I used it as the example. And the next one is the button for the software that I use to connect the guitar to the computer. I have it as its own button because it's 10-year-old software and Windows audio can be tricky. It tends to run better if I load it up separately. We all have quirks like that and you can reflect them on your own to-do list. The next one is just one of those indicator toggles. It doesn't actually do anything, but I recommend everyone have their water ready.
Water's so good.
This button is actually my favorite. It's cool that Stream Deck can do this. This is a bunch of actions in this button that arranges the windows on my desktop. So I want to minimize most of those spots. Here, let me show you how it works.
Let's put everything in its place.
So everything is minimized. The guitar software is on the right screen where I want it. My visualizer is in front, OBS is behind it, I'm ready to go. Now we have some more of those indicator toggles, and you could use mine for ideas, but it's whatever makes you feel comfortable when you're ready to start your stream. So one for lights, I want to make sure my
lights are on.
Lights are set up. My cameras, sometimes my cameras, like they reset their brightness. I want to check them before I start. That really bugs me when I'm in the middle of the stream.
Cameras are set up.
And my brightness or something is off. My headset, which I'm not wearing now, but make sure I'm actually hearing through it.
Headset is working.
Make sure the guitar is connected. And again, Windows audio is tricky. Make sure I'm actually hearing the guitar through the headset and seeing the indicators in OBS.
Guitar is set up.
This next one does a few things. It resets some counters in some of my bot programs, and it moves my OBS to the starting soon screen. So,
switching to the starting soon scene. This is really happening.
And then the last few buttons are my green screen, just to make sure it's all set up right. Don't have any issues behind me.
Green screen is set up.
Social media. I got to go on Discord and various social media and post that I'm going live.
Tell the world.
And you'll notice that I've created a picture, and you can make this anything you want. It could even be animated moving, but I just wanted something simple. I change it up now and then to make it interesting. But boy, oh boy, do I really want to press that last button and complete the picture. Now you can make this actually start the stream. I don't like to do that. I'm always worried I'm going to press it by accident. I like to click it manually, but
let's do this.
Now we're ready to rock and roll. So there you have it. By using the Stream Deck as your pre-stream checklist, you not only feel confident that you're ready to start, but the Stream Deck actually does most of the work for you. As you press the buttons, it performs the tasks on your pre-stream checklist. I hope you all found this helpful. This one was really fun for me, so I really hope you all liked it. Please click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.